Hey guys, what's going on? It's time for another episode of What's Up Dave. I know it's been quite a while since I've posted any videos, any reviews or anything like that. And well, basically I've just been busy, and now that it's Christmas time, even though it's before Christmas, I've actually got some new toys to play with, and I'd like to do a review on quite a few of them right now. Or at least the next couple of days or a couple of weeks, however long it takes me. The first one's actually right behind me, this wall gym that I've got. I'm gonna move some things around and try and show you what I can. Let me flip the camera around at it. Okay, so this is the Vimexciter. I did find this online. I was looking for some kind of a home gym, and this one actually kind of met all my criteria. I didn't want a lot of free weights hanging around, and so this kind of worked out for me a lot better. Give me just a second. There we go. So this is basically a wall gym. It is basically a Smith machine, as they call it. The only difference is that instead of having a bunch of free weights sitting around, everything's actually resistance based, which I kind of like. So you'll notice these are actually resistance springs. These are not the rubberized bands that you get here. However, these rubberized bands did come with the machine as well. I did spring for a little bit more, so I got a couple more attachments. The pull down attachment, the lap bar or whatever bar you want to use it for, another pull down attachment. I have the rowing attachment, short bar attachment, and I also have handles that you can connect to it. This is actually a pretty good setup. Install wasn't horrible. Just make sure that whenever you install it, you connect it to the studs. I would never install this on drywall alone, and to be honest, the anchors they give you are not very great. I actually went even for this thing, because this is not a lot of weight, but I did go to the hardware store for some better anchors than what they give you. When they assembled it, because this rack from top to bottom is actually fully assembled when you get it on both sides. So they just come out, you attach them to the wall, and that's pretty much it. When this was actually assembled, you'll notice right here, I actually had to take it apart. This is heat shrink, because these two cables, when they laced them through the pulleys, were actually twisted. And when I was doing like bench press or squats, these two cables were actually grinding against each other. And because of the coating they have on them, it was making everything really, really jerky. So I actually wound up taking it apart, pulling the cable all the way back through, and rerunning it the way that it was supposed to go to begin with. That's really been the only issue with it that I've had. You look at these, the pulley system is actually very good, very nice. It's very straightforward. You have two different connection points. So when you're using the pulleys out front, you get the rubber, the rubber resistance bands. When you use the lap bar, you actually get, because I'm hooked up on this pulley in front, you actually get the big springs. So you can put, I talked to them online, and they said I think 500 pounds on the pulley systems, which 500 pounds is pretty damn good. I do like it. I'm not going to do a whole freaking workout on this, but I will show you a little bit, obviously, of what it does. Let's make sure I'm actually set up here. So this is just the pull down. The pull down again is on the rubber tubes, and it's nothing super complicated. And keep in mind, with these, the resistance kind of the beauty of the resistance is you don't get the full weight all the way like at the beginning. It builds resistance as you go. So as you stretch, it gets tighter and tighter. So it's really, you're getting the most effectiveness when you max out. So for instance, what I have on the bar, like I told you, those are springs, basically. Those springs are supposed to be 50 pounds a piece. So when I have all 4 springs set up on both sides, it's supposed to equal 200 pounds. So 100 pounds here, 100 pounds over here. Now I'm going to be the first to admit, I'm in pretty good shape. But for me to go out and bench 200 pounds, I don't think so. I don't think I could go to a gym, put up a bench press, and do 200 pounds without a problem. Now this, it's not super easy, but it's not super difficult. I can rep these out for a while before I get super tired. So with that being said, it's still a good gym. I wanted something that was easy to deal with, didn't take up a lot of room, was very versatile. The only thing I'm really missing right now is my bench, which right now, my jump box works pretty well for a bench. The great thing about this is, I'm gonna drop this down. I'm gonna unscrew 2 knobs, one on each side. This bar comes out. So now, if I want to use my pulleys on both sides, easy enough. I can do that with the bar in. This is the kicker, and this is what I like about this the most. You can't see from my camera angle, but I have 2 legs that they put down on the bottom. Those 2 legs actually go down to the floor to support it when you're doing any kind of a exercise where you're pulling down on the machine. Now, best part, everything, I took the lap bar off. I swing my pulleys out, get them out of the way. And this thing closes up into my wall. From the wall to here is about 4 inches. Now there's a bracket that sticks out a little bit further on the bottom. I'd say probably 6 inches max that it sticks out from the wall. So I'm gonna flip this back around again so you guys can. Now that I've got this closed up, you see my little feet down at the bottom. I've had it out for a while, so you can see I use it quite frequently and I'm getting imprints in my rubber floor. Perfectly fine with that. But from top down to bottom, this thing is pressed up against the wall with no issues and it's completely out of the way. So now, if I've got my kid in here or I've got myself in here and I want to do something else that takes more floor space, I'm not eating up any space. When I'm using the gym and I want to use that equipment, all I got to do, pull it back out, adjust the feet, and hook everything back up. Release on the wall, pops right out, goes flat. Same thing with the other side. Pops right out, goes flat. I'll run the little feet down so that they press up against the floor so it supports itself. Is it rock solid? not rock solid, but it's good enough to where when I'm pulling, it's putting force down on the floor. I'm not going to pull this out of the wall. I'm not going to pull this out of the studs. That's very important to me. Now, I've adjusted my feet. I'm going to take this back. Actually, I'll show you this before I actually put it back together so you guys can see. Yes, I know I'm moving around a lot, and this is probably not ideal for a review, but this is how I'm going to do it because it's the best way. So when you look at these little cradles, it just has a little spin nut that clamps over, and that's how it clamps in. Nice big bearings that, while they're not seeming to roll that well here, they work great when they're in the track. And again, this is super easy. I'm gonna drop stuff. It's because I've got it leaning on the bearing that it wants to roll. So I'm gonna put this back down right here so you guys can see. This is super simple, super easy, and it was actually, to me, it was worth it. So all I'm gonna do, this goes in here, this goes in here. There is a slot for you to fit everything into. Those are locked in. Bring this back over, spin the wing nut, or the spin nut, whatever you want to call it. Same thing over here. Get it in, tighten it down, and it's done. Now right now it's locked into place. If I want to do this, roll it back, I can step it up, and it latches into place. Super simple. If I want to do squats, this is set really low for me. There we go. So mind you, like I said, 50 pounds each spring, so this is supposed to be 200 pounds. This is not gonna kill me to squat. I have I'm in reasonably good shape, like I said. So for me to squat, this is not bad. And then when you're done, lock it in, walk away. Easy. I really do like this gym. I'm working on getting resistance bands for it, so I can actually add weight to it. But otherwise, really, really good gym. Fairly well put together. You know, as I took the camera around, I know you can see some twist in the cables where the pulleys wanting to turn a little bit. As long as they're not binding against each other and they're not rubbing against each other, there is no reason this gym wouldn't work for you. I don't like a lot of weights. I don't like a lot of clutter, and my gym is not that big. So if I can have stuff that is out of the way when I want it to be out of the way and usable when I want to use it, that's what I'm looking for, and this definitely fit the bill. All in all, it was a little over 1,000, but that gave me all the attachments and everything. When I ordered it, I did try and order the bench, but the bench was out of stock. If you go to their website, which, like I said, it's Vimexciter, Vimexciter.com, you'll find this. I actually found them on Facebook. You know how Google is when you start searching something and then all of a sudden it starts popping up? Well, I was searching at-home gyms and this started popping up in my feed. I went with it, checked it out, and I thought it was a pretty good deal. So I jumped on it, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. I don't really see any downfall to it, other than wanting to get more weight. And the only thing, or not more weight, but more resistance. The only thing that I've seen them do as far as resistance is more of the rubber resistance bands, which, let's see, 20, so that's 45, so that's 75, That's 85. It's supposed to be 85 pounds on each side, which isn't bad. But I'll be honest, when I'm doing a pull down on either side, if I'm just doing one side, it does not feel like 85 pounds. So that's my biggest complaint about it, is if I'm going here and I've got all the weight on it and I'm doing a pull down, tricep pull down, that does not feel like 85 pounds. And that is max reach right here. It's all the way at the top. So they're already expanded or stretched, and I'm going here. This does not feel like 85 pounds to me. Even one hand, that's a tricep pull down, does not feel like 85 pounds. So a little disappointed there. Otherwise, I can run this, and you'll see if you can. I hope you can. Matter of fact, let me move the camera. So, it just latched into. Sorry, guys. I'm going to adjust this one, and you'll see the bar is here. These guys, when they made this, were actually pretty damn smart. So the bar bottoms out right here. There's a latch or a catch on each side, so you can. It's like a safety. But when they designed this slide can actually bypass the bar, and if I'm not using the safety, which you just saw that slip, so if I'm not using the safety, this will go all the way down. So, but because I'm actually using the safety, and I don't want that bar going any lower. So, because I'm using the safety, I can still stop it right there. If I want to go all the way down, all I got to do is take out the bar. But same thing, this does not feel like 85 pounds. I'm a 205 pound guy, and I guarantee you give me a 85 pound dumbbell and I'm not bicep curling it. But it's challenging, but it's not gonna kill me. So I do like this. My wife uses it a lot for the pull downs and stuff. I use it for the bench press and for the squats. So obviously with the way this thing's set up, you can use both at the same time. You can hook both. If I had my handles, back extension, that kind of stuff, turn around, do flies, that kind of thing. And this, honestly, this is where I start to feel like it's almost 85 pounds. But I had to bring it over all the way across so it maxes out. And if you can see how high those bands are going to get full extension out of them. So it's not perfect, but it's not bad. This one I actually like, and I'm glad we bought it. So if you want to check this out, like I said before, it's Vimexciter.com, and they've actually got a couple of different setups for this. This is the one I went with, and like I said, I'm actually still trying to get some resistance to add to it to make it more suitable for me. So I think that's all I got on this one. Join me for the next one, and hopefully I'll be giving you some good information. Thanks, guys.